Welcome back. You can get on Twitter and comment on what we are discussing on the program. You can as well share your views via email to the address on your screen. Well, the incumbent governor in Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, was ordered to be sworn in as the governor of the state on the 27th of November 2010 after intense court cases. It succeeds Olusola Adeyeye. The governor was a former commissioner for works under Bola Tinubu in Lagos, and now he seeks re-election and opportunity to run for office for a second time. What are his programs and the party's manifesto ahead of the very important August 9 election? Just as we had some other candidates from other parties, it's APC's turn, but they have sent the Director General of the campaign for the party in Osun State, Professor Olusola Adeyeye. Thank you for joining us on Politics Today tonight.
Thank you very much, Shane.
Yeah, let me start by asking you, your candidates spent slightly over 3 years running to his 4th year in office after that very resounding court's decision from the federal court in Ibadan, where he was asked to be sworn in on that before noon of that particular day. A very, very, very interesting court case that all of us followed. Now you are presenting him. Why are you seeking re-election for Rauf Aregbesola?
The answer is quite simple. Aregbesola has shown that is the best thing that could have happened to Osun. After what we call years of low cost, years of misdirection, Aregbesola took the helms of affairs of Osun and from day one began to show the reason why he sought the mandate of the people. He began to prove that his government will be government unusual. Unusual in the sense that if you look at the revenue profile of Osun, Osun is among the poorest states in our republic. And the needs that face the citizenry of Osun are enormous. And so it needs a prudent manager of limited resources to be able to re-engineer the affairs of Osun in such a way that you can bring the greatest good possible to the highest number of the people. And that's what he has done in the last 3.5 years. For example, if you look at road construction, Aregbesola has done more roads than any government in the history of Osun, even government that lasts longer than his own. If you look at urban renewal, for the first time in the history of Osun, you see a government that is saying we must give Osun a capital that is worthy of the people. We the Yorubas often say that Aji Sebi Yoruba Laari, that is, we want to be the exemplar. We want to be the role model. We want to be the people that when you come to you say, we want to be like you. But until Aregbesola came, when you go to the towns and cities and capital of Osun, what you find is decay and stagnation and paralysis. Aregbesola has begun to give Osun a new face. When you go to the capital of Osun, even in fact, coming from the express road, coming from Lagos, as you pass as a Asejire and you get to the boundary of Osun, you begin to see the evidence of a serious government. Because unlike the chaos and death and filth that greets you throughout the express road of Nigeria, when you get to Osun, you begin to see government that is planting trees. Hitherto, the tradition has been that this is a federal road, let's leave it alone. But this is a federal road where your people ply day and week, and therefore it is they who are assaulted by the filth and stagnation. And Aregbesola from day one promised that when he will get into office, he was going to offer employment to our youth. And of course, people thought he was going to be civil service employment. But this unusual government, giving unusual governance, what he has done is to produce a scheme that is even better than the NYSC, in the sense that we are not saying people must come and work only in offices. We are not saying you must only work in the civil service. We are saying there are needs in the environment. We want to keep our towns and marketplaces and schools clean. Therefore, our young people who hitherto were doing nothing and unemployed can be brought forth, and their creative energy can set the example on how a people ought to live.
All right. You talked about a government that is unusual. Well, of course, we know that the government of Aregbesola has been unusual in the sense that we've seen some unusual thing happen. That's the only state that has turned around the title of the state from the normal, how we have the state called, so and so state, so and so state. In the other way around, I said the state of Osun.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people have questioned that. That stands the state out of the other state, and some people seem not to be happy with that.
Those are people who like to chase shadows instead of substance. If I say my name is Olusola Adeyeye, or I say, okay, I want to be Adeyeye Olusola, what's your own business? When you go to the USA, you move from Maryland to Pennsylvania, you get to the boundary, what do you find? Welcome to the state of Pennsylvania. When you move from Florida to Georgia, what do you find? You don't see welcome to Georgia state. You see welcome to the state of Georgia. In any case, whether you call a place Osun state, or you say you want your lexicon to be correct, you want to keep to international standard, you want to call yourself the state of Osun, what's your own business? What I want to call
I'm sorry to call it in. What people are asking, especially some people that I've interacted with in Osun State who are indigents of the state, yes, or some people who are residents of the state, as they're asking the sense behind changing. Does it really change anything about the state? And why? Is it just to stand out, or just to make a copy of what happens outside Nigeria that Governor Aregbesola wants to have?
Even if it to stand out, that's the beauty of federalism. I just came back from Vienna. At the Senate of Vienna, the speaker is changed every 3 months. And guess what flag is shown in the national parliament? It's not the flag of Austria. It's the flag of whatever state happens to be the one that is presiding at that time. That's the beauty of federalism. Look at the US, for example, which you have just started. Some states don't have deputy governors. Some that do not have the deputy governor and the governor elected on the same ticket. And what they call their deputy changes from state to state. In some states, they are called deputy governor. In some, they are called lieutenant governor, and so on and so forth. What you call yourself is your own business. It's no other person's business. For example, when we chose to have a flag, they make a big issue out of it, as if Osun was the first state of Nigeria having a flag.
But when the people of Osun consulted before all this decision, there's a coat of arms. The flag for Osun State. There's a logo for the state. There's a new name for the state. These are some of the. I'm not quite sure people are angry about the move, but I'm quite sure about the impression they have as regarding how they have been carried along in this matter. Maybe they are not.
The people of Osun are overwhelmingly with Aregbesola. It is those who want to create mischief. It is those who want to be cannon fodder. It is those who want to leave substance alone and chase shadows. Listen, Lagos had a flag before Osun did. Bendel, which is now Edo, had a flag before Osun did. And the constitution we had at independence, every region not only had a flag, had its own credo. For Western region, it was liberty and justice. So what we are saying is, in the true tradition of authentic federalism, where a people must have the right to stipulate what they want for themselves within a republic, so long as you are not breaking the law of the land. And there is no law of the land that states this is how you must arrange your name, this is the kind of flag you must have. Therefore, if there will be protest, let it come from the people of Osun. Let it not come from mischief makers who want to use non-issues.
I think what we should, because as we're talking now, we're trying to inform the public.
Sure.
What people want to know, what is the sense behind the change of name, apart from the aesthetics?
Aesthetic matter. Aesthetics
so
matter.
Is it basically for aesthetic purpose or for the sake of standing out?
If you do it for aesthetics, you are correct. If you do it for standing out, you are correct. Because either of those does not break the law of the land. There is no need for anybody to make any issue of it. For example, they made an issue of the fact that we have cowrie shells on our flag. And on that account, they tried to demonize our governor as promoting idolatry. They forgot that most of these people who are shouting this have buildings or businesses in Lagos long before the state of Osun, I didn't say of Osun State, long before the state of Osun, the flag of Lagos State had cowrie shells, not as emblems of idol worship, but as the coinage, as the currency of our people before the British and the Spaniard and the Portuguese came to Lagos. Simple. You saw what happened yesterday at the PTP rally. One of them was praying, and as he prayed, he made allusions. Everybody in Nigeria, go to Facebook, knows very well that that gentleman is the worst adulterer in Nigeria. People who profess God, but in reality deny the power thereof. But here comes a Muslim who is exuding authentic spirituality in the sense that he walks his talks. Just because he says Osun State must be made veritable for all Osun citizens, whether you are Christian or Muslim or adherents of traditional religion, they then try to demonize him. Thank God, Osun people know better. They have continued to give Aregbesola their overwhelming support, and for them, I blow them a kiss.